Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Quite cool, but it's going to be warmer later in the week, I see. Hope you're all feeling well this morning. If you have a bolster, it'd be great if you could pop that next to your mat this morning. If you don't have a bolster, you could get a couple of cushions or pillows, all optional. So don't worry if you would prefer not to have anything, just yourself. And I thought we might start in a seated position this morning. If you're feeling a little bit cool, you might wrap a shawl around yourself or a blanket, and just making sure that the spine is nice and upright. So if you have got a bolster, you might be sitting on the bolster. You might like to sigh the breath away 2 or 3 times, or if you prefer, exhaling through pursed lips. So some way to consciously start slowing down the exhalation. You might like to close the eyes or just have a soft downward glance. Taking these first few moments to let everything settle, body, breath, heart, mind. Checking in with yourself and note what you have brought with you to the mat this morning. Welcoming all, accepting all. And then as you breathe in, you might like to say to yourselves, I have arrived. I am home. Breathing in, I have arrived. And breathing out, I am home. Now drop your awareness down into your body, into your heart. Feel the space within your heart. You might like to rest your hands over your heart, just adjusting your touch so that it feels a little softer and more tender than usual. And just begin to feel the expansion and contraction of your heart space, your chest, soft and spacious. Breathing into your heart and allowing the area around your heart to soften. I invite you now to make a quiet commitment to stay close to yourself over the next 75 minutes, to keep returning home again and again and again. The focus for our practice this morning is forgiveness, which I'm sure we would all agree is something that us humans often need to keep working with again and again. Might be to do with something as little as a person cutting us off in traffic or pushing in line at the grocery store, or as big as a generational family rift, or perhaps us being a bit clumsy and unconsciously hurting someone else, or perhaps we actually hurt someone intentionally. It can be very challenging to own up to and then forgive ourselves for the ways we cause harm to others. So I'd like to begin by sharing the Buddhist prayer of forgiveness with you that was in the email, and then we'll move into a breathing practice, and then lots of practices to stimulate and open the heart, because forgiveness is connected to the heart space. And then we'll conclude with a meditation centered on forgiveness. The prayer. If I have harmed anyone in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly through my own confusions, I ask their forgiveness. If anyone has harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly through their own confusions, I forgive them. And if there is a situation I am not yet ready to forgive, I forgive myself for that. For all the ways that I harm myself, negate, doubt, belittle myself, judge or be unkind to myself through my own confusions, I forgive myself. So let's bring the hands now into Namaskar Mudra, prayer position over the heart space. And we'll seal that prayer into our beings with the chant of Om. So 3 rounds of Om, and then we'll work with our pranayama practice. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Just bow your head down towards your heart. And lift the head up. So resting the hands back over the heart space, we're going to work with Brahmari Pranayama, the humming bee breath, to stimulate heart energy. So let's work with 5 breaths, first of all, with the hands just resting over the heart. So it's a humming sound like a bee. So let's breathe in. So 4 more just in your own time. Eyes can be open or closed. So when you finish, just sit quietly for a moment. We're going to work with a second round, this time with the more traditional version of Brahmari, where we close off our sense of hearing Eyes again can be open or closed. So hands can be like this. So we're blocking off our ears, or just like this if this is better for your arms and shoulders. So again, 5 breaths. So breathing in just in your own time. When you finish, again, just a breath or two, sitting quietly. And we'll finish with a 3rd round of Brahmari. This time just a silent humming. So 5 rounds. Eyes can be open or closed. So breathing in. And again, when you finish, just sitting quietly for a moment, noticing what's going on inside, how you're feeling. And then gently release. Just have a little bit of a stretch if you need to. Blow the breath away. I'm going to come back to meet you on my mat. So just sitting again with a nice tall spine. And we're going to just start off with some tapping. So I'll invite you to just start to, with your fingertips, start to tap on the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth, whatever feels good for you at this moment in time. Taking a few cleansing breaths. Breathing in fresh air, fresh new oxygen into the lungs. Good. And then just tapping lightly on your chin. And under the nose. Under the eyes. Temples. Your forehead. And the top of the head. Good. And then release the hands down. We're going to work with our seated cat. So on your next exhalation, just rounding the back, looking down. And then as you breathe in, chest moves forward, shoulders back. Keep the face soft. So exhale, we round. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, we round. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale. Continuing, taking your awareness into the back of the body, noticing how your spine is feeling this morning, sending some loving attention into the back of the body. Good, now you can continue like this, or fingertips now come onto our shoulders. And as we exhale, we see if we can squeeze the elbows together. And as we inhale, we take the arms back, opening the heart. Exhale, we round. Inhale, shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, we round. In, open. Exhale. Good. Noticing how your shoulders are feeling this morning. Good. And then taking the arms wide like you're a beautiful bird. Exhale, press the palms together. Breathing in, open the arms wide. Exhale, palms. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good, do a couple more. And then the next time your palms touch, interlace your fingers, turn the palms away. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to turn into a twist. So you can do an open twist, the right hand to the inner edge of the right knee, or a closed twist, whatever feels most appropriate for you this morning. Not leaning back into the left hand or the left finger, so keeping the spine nice and upright. Head moves last in our twists. And we're holding here and breathing. And then inhale, float the arms back to shoulder height. And exhale, twisting to the right. Good. Inhale back to center. Now from here, we're going to tip over to the left side. So moving into a lateral stretch. And then breathe yourself back to center, long, tall spine. Exhale over to the right side. Good. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more to each side. Back to center. Good. Let's bring the arms up in front, so holding onto the opposite elbow. A bit more of a twisting motion with this next movement. So we're just going to start to move from side to side. Now you can keep this slow or you can speed it up. Again, so see what feels appropriate for you this morning. What would your body like from you today? You can actually ask yourself, what would my body like more of today? What would my body like less of today? So listening to the wisdom of our own bodies and being guided from within. Good, and then just slowing that movement down. Coming back to center. Now a bit more movement just to energize this upper and stimulate this area around the heart. So we're going to bring the arms again in front, they're shoulder height. We're going to cross the arms in front, take the arms back, trying to keep the elbows at shoulder height rather than this happening. So keep them up high, crossing, and then we go above. So in front and then above. And we try to alternate which arm, which hand is on top or in front. So again, we can keep this slow or we can speed it up. Keep the breath flowing. Good. And let's release the arms. All right, couple more before we change position. So this next one, we're going to take the arms out to shoulder height. Just try to soften your shoulders, turning one palm up and the other palm is facing down. And then it's just a matter of swapping the arms, the palms over. So the palm that's up turns down and vice versa. Just trying to relax those shoulders as you work with this movement. We're lengthening out into the fingertips of each hand. Face is relaxed. Again, just noticing what you notice. One side might feel quite different to the other, and that's okay. It's information. I'm just being curious about what we can learn, what's something new I can learn, I can discover about myself today. Okay, it might be that one shoulder is quite sore. What can I do to support that shoulder? Send a bit of extra loving attention into that side. Good. And release. Might make a few little circles with our shoulders. All right. So last movement in this position, we're going to do a stretch for our triceps. So we'll take the left arm up and then bend the arm. If you can get a monkey grip, you'll take the right hand behind. If not, you're going to hold on to or take the fingertips onto the opposite elbow, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. So we're not looking down, but we're looking straight ahead. Breathing into the heart. If you have got a monkey grip, we try to keep the shoulders square, not dropping that right shoulder. It's a gentle smile on your lips, softening the skin of the face, softening your forehead. Please give the arms a shake. And then same to the other side. So taking the right arm up, bend. So again, you either take a monkey grip or fingers up to the elbow, chin parallel to the floor, breathing into the heart space, relaxed face and mouth. All right, let's come into extended child. So just clearing everything off our mats. Big toes touching, knees wide apart, arms extending forward. And once you come into position, connecting with your breath, And I invite you while you're here to reflect on what quality might assist you to forgive, whether it's forgiving yourself or forgiving others. So think about one quality that might help you forgive yourself or others. So it might be something, it might be courage, it might be strength, it might be humility, it might be truth, being truthful with ourselves, with others. So think of one quality that would support you, that would help you to forgive. And then as we move up into cat and we inhale, let's imagine that we are breathing in that quality. The breath is that quality. So let's come up into cat. Rounding the back and dropping back into child. So we're going to keep working with this, but now as we exhale, we'll also add our humming, Bhramari Pranayam. So inhaling that quality and humming back. Might be that we need to surrender our ego. Inhale that quality. Allow it to spread through your whole being and humming back. Might be compassion. Breathe that quality in. Fill yourself up. Keep going. Inhale that quality that will assist you to forgive yourself and or others. Now from here, inhale that quality, but this time we're going to tuck the toes and move into down face dog pose. So we'll drop the breathing, the humming. Just stay here for a breath. Inhale, lower the knees and back into child. We're going to do 3 more of these. Breathing in that quality, tuck your toes, down face dog pose, staying for 2 breaths this time. Lowering the knees and into child. Down face dog pose, staying for up to 3 breaths this time. If that's too much, come down earlier. So please listen to your body. And last one. Staying for up to 4 breaths this time. When you come down this time, we'll rest. You might like to make fist with the hands and rest your forehead on your fists. Either staying here, or some of you might like to come into inchworm pose. So just sliding down, so bringing the chest and the armpits as close to the mat as possible. Breathing. And then slide yourself back into extended child. Inhale up onto your knees, tuck your toes down, first dog pose. We'll add a lateral stretch here. So take the feet a little wider, turn your feet to the left, and breathing into the left side of the torso. And then swivel the feet around to the right, breathing into the right side of the torso. Back to center. And coming down. Again, take a rest, perhaps making fists with the hands. Perhaps visualizing a little tiny dot or point of light in your heart space. Breathing into the heart. So the breath is fuel for that light. The humming, Brahmari Pranayama, is fuel for that light. Strengthening our heart energy. Strengthening our ability to forgive ourselves and others. All right, let's take the arms forward again. Inhale up onto all fours, tuck the toes into down first dog pose. Now you're welcome to stay here or walk your feet together and raise the right leg up, flexing that right foot. As we exhale now, we're going to bring the right knee towards the forehead. Inhale, take the leg back. Exhale, knee to forehead. And take it back. And last one. Lower the right foot down, take the left leg up, flexing the foot. So exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. And back into dog. You might stay for another breath or two, or lowering down and resting in child. Let's come up onto our knees, and we're going to work through some kneeling salutes, adding a couple of extra poses this morning, our star lift and the full prostration. and at the end, another variation as well. So we're either down here, or if it's better for you, this can be your start position. So nice, tall, long spine. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Inhale, up onto all fours, tuck your toes, down first dog pose. Back onto the knees, into extended child. So now coming to lie down, palms together above the head, and rest for a breath. Arms and legs wide, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Hands back alongside your chest, breathe in, lift up, back into extended child. Inhale, come up. And exhale. So 2 more like this. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes. And child. Sliding on the floor, palms together, rest for a breath. Arms and legs wide, and lift. Hands alongside your chest, inhale. With your breath, stay with your heart. Down face dog pose. To that. And child. Slide down into our full prostration. Take a breath. Arms and legs wide. Hands alongside your chest. Inhale. Now we're just going to start our kneeling salute, but then work with a variation. So exhale, extended child. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. Now pausing here, and we're going to look towards our hands and step the right foot between our hands. Now from here, we're going to carefully come up to stand. So you might take the hands onto that right thigh to help you come up. All right, hips are square. So this is a variation of Warrior One. We're on the ball of the left foot. If you feel a bit wobbly, have a chair or a wall near you. And releasing the arms down just for a moment. So legs are straight. I'm going to take the arms up above the head. Palms are facing each other. So we're going to bend the right leg as we swing one arm forward, the other arm back, and then we straighten. So one arm forward, the other arm back, and straighten. We can keep this slow or we can speed it up. Again, just see what feels appropriate for you this morning. What is your body asking of you this morning? Not the ego, not the mind, the body. Good. And take the hands down on either side of the right foot. Come back into dog, a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So look towards your hands, left leg forward, and carefully coming up. So hips are facing forward. We're on the ball of the right foot. Arms down first of all, and then taking the arms up above the head. So this time we're going to bend the left leg, swing the opposite arm forward and straighten. This side might feel quite different, and that's okay. Again, it's information. What can we learn about ourselves this morning that we didn't know yesterday? What new piece of information can we discover? Good. And then release your arms down, and we're just going to step the right foot to meet the left and come into Tadasana. So feet are hip width, we spread the toes. We're going to go straight into some bouncing, so a little bend in the legs. Eyes can be open or closed. You can shake the arms, you can flick the fingers away. Shrug the shoulders a little bit extra this morning. How much weight have you been carrying on your shoulders lately? How heavy does your load feel at the moment? Can we lighten our load while we're here on our mats? What might be blocking our ability to forgive ourselves or others? Might be shame or guilt. It might be stubbornness or ego. Can we let that go? Might be the belief that we need to be perfect or others need to be perfect, which is just impossible in this messy world. I am perfectly imperfect. We are all perfectly imperfect. Expectations might be something we need to let go of. Good. And then just slow that down. Take a nice fresh breath in, fill the lungs, and sigh the breath away. Hands over the heart. So again, just a very soft, tender touch, a little softer than usual. Just really feel that you're trying to send yourself some care, some love. Let's come back to Brahmari. We'll work with 5 breaths. Inhaling. Take a breath or two. Again, just note what's going on inside. And release the hands down. Let's step the legs wide. So sometimes we need a lot of courage to forgive ourselves and or others. So we're going to work with a warrior two variation. So we'll turn the left toes around, right toes in. Again, recall that quality that you were breathing in that can assist you to forgive. And in a moment, we're going to, again, imagine that we're drawing in, filling ourselves up with that quality. So let's breathe in, raise the arms to shoulder height, turn to the left. And as we exhale, bending the left leg. Now we're going to work with 5 of these. So as we inhale, you're gathering up that quality and you're drawing it up through the center of you, filling yourself up, bringing it up to the heart. And then exhale, then we're able to forgive. So breathing in, or we're on the road to forgiving. We might not be quite ready yet. And exhale. So 3 more. Inhale, filling yourself up with that quality. And exhale. Last one. Good. And then from here, we're going to move into dancing warrior. So we'll inhale, turn that left palm up and windmill the arms backwards. So keep that left leg bent and a few breaths here. Good. Inhale, come back to center and exhale. Let's turn the feet around. So same to the other side. Inhale and bending the right leg. So as we breathe in, we're scooping up that quality, filling ourselves up, bringing it up to the heart, and exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. 3 more. Last. Inhale, turn the right palm up, and exhale. And breathe in. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale. Release the legs, give them a bit of a shake. Coming into a balanced pose now, focus pose with the option, if you'd like to go a bit further, of going into a variation of warrior 3. So I'll do this sideways. We'll start off with the weight into the left foot as we pick up the right, and we're taking the hands in front, just relaxing your shoulders. So palms are facing each other. If you're a bit wobbly, you might have a hand on a table or a wall or a chair. Lengthening up through the crown top. You may prefer just to stay here and breathe, sending the breath into the heart space. Those of you who'd like to will start to lean forward, taking that right leg back and arms back alongside you. Palms are still facing each other. Flexing the right foot. Slowly reverse back into focus pose. And release. Other side. So staying in focus pose or starting to lean forward and take the left leg back, flexing the left foot. Courage of the warrior, the strength. Focus pose. And we're going to come down to our mats. Now, if you have your bolster or some cushions, we're going to pop it across the mat and come into supported fish, Matsayasana. Any neck issues, please give yourself some support for the back of the head. If you're feeling a little bit cold, you might have socks on. You might even like to cover yourselves now with a blanket. Beautiful heart opening pose. So once you come into this position, just relax. If this is too strong, you can just make it a lot lower. You can just roll up a little blanket so it's not so high. Try and stay here for 4 or so minutes. While you're in this position, I can share a little passage with you. Feel free to come out early if need be. This is from Jack Cornfield. In difficulties, we can learn the true strength of our practice. At these times, the wisdom we have cultivated and depth of our love and forgiveness is our chief resource. To meditate, to pray, to practice at such times can be like pouring soothing balm onto the aches of our heart. The great forces of greed, hatred, fear, and ignorance that we encounter can be met by the equally great courage of our heart. Such strength of heart comes from knowing that the pain that we each must bear is a part of the greater pain shared by all that lives. It is not just our pain, but the pain. And realizing this awakens our universal compassion. Without forgiveness, life would be unbearable. It's hard to imagine a world without forgiveness, because we would be chained to the suffering of the past and have only to repeat it over and over again. There would be no release. So just another minute or so here. Seeing if you can soften, let go. And then over the next 2 or 3 breaths, just preparing to release. The safest way for your neck is to roll to the side. If you know your neck's really strong, you could sit straight up. And we're going to come straight into supported child pose. So just swing yourself around, bring your bolster or the cushions around, place them between your inner thighs. Knees are wide, and then you'll lie yourself down over the bolster. So arms forward, head to the side. Beautiful pose to come into when we are feeling a little bit fragile, a little bit vulnerable, if our heart's feeling a little hurt. Protection for the heart. A very lovely way to soothe yourself. Again, just to let the self soften down into the support that is being offered to you now. Feel the support of the earth beneath you, holding you, offering you support. Let yourself sink into that support. So often we mistakenly think that the only support is from humans. We have the support of the earth, of the natural world, and of the invisible realms. I never forget my Reiki teacher, Larry, some of you know, saying to me a few years ago that he feels he receives more support from the spirit world than from the human world. If we're struggling to forgive, we could call on support from the natural world. We could look at how nature forgives, how forgiving it is. We could call on the spirit world to support us, whether we need to forgive ourselves or others. So just turning your head the other way, if it is to one side. And then again, over the next 2 or 3 breaths, preparing to release from this position. We're going to move into our meditation now on forgiveness, offering forgiveness in 3 different directions. Feel free to sit with support if needed, or you can sit in a chair or come to lie down if you're really low in energy. So just make sure that you are warm. If you're sitting, that the spine is nice and upright. You might have your hands in a favorite mudra position. The eyes can be open with a soft downward glance or closed. But I'll just invite you to drop your gaze down towards your heart. And just feeling, being aware of the expansion and contraction of the chest. Noticing if your heart is feeling quite tight at the moment, constricted, or if it's feeling light and open. Again, there's no judgment here. We are welcoming all. It's just information. Allowing your breath to flow into and around your heart. And please know that if at any stage you become upset or a bit unsettled by this practice, you can withdraw at any time and just return your attention to the breath. You might even rest your hands over your heart space. You might come back into supported child pose. But if you feel okay to proceed, I invite you to begin by remembering a time when you might have hurt another person. Might have been yesterday, it might have been a year ago, it might have been 20 years ago, even 50 years ago. Bring to mind a person that you might have hurt. Visualize this person, this time, if you can. And be aware now of your own sorrow and regret. Be aware of the pain you have caused, perhaps due to your own fear and confusion. Take as much time as you need to picture this scenario that still burdens your heart. Now sense that you can finally release this burden and ask for forgiveness. As you hold this person's face in your mind, in your heart, gently say to them, "Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I ask for forgiveness." You can repeat this to yourself over and over again. Please forgive me. And then release the image of this person and bring your awareness back to your own precious body and life. Feel the breath moving through you. And then be aware of the ways you have hurt or harmed yourself, beaten yourself up, punished yourself, been cruel towards yourself. Picture these times. Remember these moments and feel the sorrow you have carried from these moments, and sense that it is now time to release these burdens. It is now time to extend forgiveness for each act of harm. Repeating to yourself, for the ways I have hurt myself through action or inaction, out of fear, pain, or confusion, I now forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Finally, we each have been betrayed. We have each been hurt by another. So I invite you now to picture and remember one moment of being betrayed or hurt by another person. Might have been yesterday, it might have been 10 years ago, might have been 50 years ago. Feel the sorrow and pain and sadness that you have carried from this experience. And if you feel unable to forgive this person yet, if you still feel really angry or betrayed, that's okay. Be forgiving of yourself for not yet being ready to let go. Forgiveness cannot be forced. It cannot be artificial. So you might say to yourself now, it is my intention to forgive you when I am able. It is my intention to forgive you when I am able. But if your heart feels ready to forgive now, you might like to say to yourself, I remember the way you hurt, wounded, or harmed me. I have carried this pain in my heart long enough, to the extent that I am ready. I offer you forgiveness. To those who have caused me harm, I offer my forgiveness. I forgive you. And then very gently we will release from this practice. And if you're sitting quietly, come to lie down. If you're feeling a little bit fragile, you might lie, on your side in more of a fetal position, or hug a pillow, or have your hand over your heart. Cover yourselves with a blanket. Blow the breath away. Again, feeling the support of the earth beneath you. It's such incredibly profound work to forgive. Powerful work. Whether forgiving ourselves or others. It's not easy. Let yourself rest now. Perhaps saying to yourself as you breathe in, I have arrived. I am home. I have arrived. Breathing out. Feel free to stay lying down if you're happy here. Otherwise, just start to deepen the breath. Bring a little bit of movement into your fingers and your toes. Have a bit of a stretch. Roll over to one side. I'd just like to share some final words with you from the sacred text, the Bhagavad Gita. If you want to see the brave, look to those who can return love for hatred. If you want to see the heroic, look to those who can forgive. If you want to see the heroic, look to those who can forgive. So let's come up to sit, and we'll close with 3 Oms, hands together at the heart space. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Om. head down towards your heart. Namaste. Thank you. My love to you all. Thank you so much for joining with me this morning, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.